both know, obviously, Frank can't come up with an explanation right away. I mean, hell, the FBI couldn't come up with anything in 48 hours.
I'm afraid you're right.
So how do you figure we're going to break the story?
Focus on Frank's record. Ask for an explanation. Best I can do.
Oh, man. Well, it's better than Wes Leonard could do, or anybody else for that matter. Now what I'm wondering is, does that point to Ray or not? I mean, sending that stuff to you. I mean, whoever did it's got to figure you're going to give Frank the best deal you can.
Isn't going to amount to much, considering this stuff. A letter of endorsement for an employee of NLW for a post on a regulatory commission with Frank's signature on it. A memo outlining the benefit of such an endorsement for a major electronics firm, namely NLW. Another memo authorizing the organization and secret financing of a Frank Ryan campaign by NLW, et cetera, which amounts to influence peddling on a grand scale.
Listen, Jack, that endorsement could be a forgery. The FBI can find out about that right away.
What do you think?
It looks like Frank's signature. You know, Jack, there are ways to fake these things. You know that. You could start a whole thing, how this whole thing, a whole angle, how this happened. It's obviously a frame.
Obvious to you, obvious to me.
Obvious to anybody that knows Frank. You could pick up on that. Ask some questions about how it was done. Somebody close to Frank. Well, I don't want to tell you how to do your business.
I've already considered that approach. We'd be creamed in the next day's papers. Believe me, world, he's my brother-in-law. I ought to know. No, sir. All I can do is play it straight. Ask Frank to answer. That'll give him one day's lead before the rest of the world starts swinging at him.
Yeah, meaning the media, probably followed up by a Senate Ethics Committee.
Gonna look great on top of the publicity about Jill.
Oh, now, come on. They're not going to throw Frank in prison because of Jill.
No, but that stuff could. Damn it, Bob, where the hell are the answers? You think I want to throw the first stone?
You know, I almost feel sorry for him.
Frank is certainly in a spot.
Frank is exactly where he deserves to be. I was talking about Jack Finelli.
Why did you send the material to Jack?
I don't know, really. Maybe I wanted to give Frank a running start. And maybe I am meaner than I think I am, and I want to see the entire Ryan family squirm. After all, Jack Finelli is, to all extents and purposes, a Ryan. You think I'm that vindictive?
Well, dear, yes.
But you are not going to lecture me.
Look, I said my piece when you told me your intentions. It's not nice, but I know where you're coming from. And Frank has treated you very badly. My main worry is you're going to get caught.
No, I won't. I wore gloves.
Pardon me?
Afraid I quite haven't told you everything, Paul. See, I took your advice. Frank's going to have to call in the FBI on this one, and when they examine the cover letter, which I sent along with the NLW material to Jack Finelli, they will discover that that letter was written on Jillian Bolak's typewriter. Further examination will reveal an additional set of documents in her files. Jill is on record about not liking Frank being in politics. Seems she's decided to do something about it. After it's all over, she can try to build whatever life she can with him, presumably having destroyed what he loves most.
I honestly didn't think you'd go through with it.
Well, you were wrong. We still friends?
We've never made judgments about each other before, and I don't think we should start now.
Thank you.
But I am worried. Oh, Ray, think. Now, is there anyone who could find you out? I mean, when all this blows up, Frank isn't going to want to believe that Jill did it.
The only person in the world aside from you who knows about my contact with NLW, Sam Snow, and the vice presidential campaign is Roger Coleridge.
Well, you said you could handle him. But if his sister gets into it, even Roger has his limits.
Dr. Coleridge may know a few secrets about me, but I know one about him that will keep him quiet under any circumstances. Roger's limits don't extend beyond self-interest, family or no family.
I see. then we're just going to have to sit back and watch Frank writhe in agony. That is what you want?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
How are you this morning, Maeve?
Better, thank you, Kevin. Don't hang there in the door, man. I'm not going to bite you.
I thought I'd have a share in your wrath.
Well, I wasn't feeling too happy about your pardon at all last night, but I guess I should be glad that John had someone to talk to when he wouldn't talk to me.
He didn't set out to deceive you, Maeve, at all.
I understand that, Kevin, and whether he accepts it or not, I also know that it was his generosity to my family that started the whole thing.
He did overextend himself a bit.
But that wasn't what was troubling me. It was the lying. Well, we've talked it through, and even though I still feel badly about it, the worst has passed. It's funny, you know? 34 years with a man, and you suddenly realize that he's only human. It's quite a blow.
And that's why he didn't want you to know. Maeve, are you over your anger then?
With you and with my husband, yes. But when I think of Delia, I still see red.
Ah, I'm with you there. Ever since she started coming in here flaunting her jewels and her whatnot, I felt like picking her up and giving her a tan. And there with John up to his chin in debt. How could he resist taking a flyer?
Well, he could have, and he should have. That's what my head tells me. But my head tells me also that I shouldn't be blaming Delia after all. She was the one who bailed us out.
And she didn't let him forget it for a moment. I tell you, I could have done something with her green aprons and her bloody Irish dishcloths.
Well, at least that explains why I've been tripping over Dee in my kitchen.
Oh, she's been a great help, huh?
Oh, yes, peeled a lot of potatoes.
In exchange for tips from you on the old commodities market?
Oh, please, please. Kevin, don't remind me. That's the worst part of it all. And it makes me feel, oh, I don't know, used, invaded. That girl digging into my most personal habits. A cup of tea and she makes $1,000. Oh, the injustice of it all. I ask myself, do I begrudge her the success? And I answer, yes, I certainly do.
You'll begrudge her more when I tell you that she wouldn't share it with John.
What?
Oh, John begged her to share her insight into the commodities market, and she did for a while, and then she stopped because she said it made her nervous. So John, in desperation, started following her around, eavesdropping, you know, looking for clues. In the meantime, his investments are plummeting, and hers are soaring heavenward.
All right, don't tell me any more, man. I'm wild enough at that girl. Look, I shouldn't be blaming her for John's bad judgment.
Well, you understand the spot he was in then, and I suggested to him that he go to the kids and ask to borrow some money.
I could have told you that, Kevin. He'd never do that.
So then he thought of going to Nick Zab, but of course he thought if that came out, Frank would be disgraced. So next in line was Ray Woodard.
Oh, thank merciful heaven for small favors. I mean, if Ray had been the one to save Ryan's, we'd have the demolition crew right out front this minute. I understand why he went to Delia, and I hope eventually I can live with the fact that she owns the roof over my head for the next 7 years, but I don't have to like it much.
Hello?
Okay, let's go over it again. Who's Sam Snow?
Who was Sam Snow? He's dead now.
Who was Sam Snow?
Well, he was a lobbyist representing, among others, NLW Industries.
Frank met him how many times?
Twice. Once at his office in front of half the office staff, once at dinner.
Snow offered him money.
Yeah, the first time he came over with 10 unsolicited campaign contributions. Frank refused him.
Nothing was ever said about the vice presidency.
No, nothing.
Yeah, but Raymond Leclerc was NLW's choice for the commission. How many times Frank meet him?
Well, a couple of times. Frank didn't like him. He didn't endorse him. He was ticked off when he got the appointment.
Yeah, then how did his signature get on that letter?
If it was Frank's signature.
If it was.
Well, I don't know, Jack. You know, Frank signs dozens of documents every day.
Yeah, well, how's he get them? Who gives them to him to sign?
Well, I don't know. The secretaries. Usually Nancy, till she got transferred up here. Well, what are you saying? Nancy's on their payroll?
Who's they?
NLW, of course.
What are you saying? That they set Frank up? Leclerc was their man.
All right, okay. What is this, the Spanish Inquisition? Come on, Jack, lay off, man.
You think West Leonard and the rest of them gonna lay off? You and Frank don't like my questions. What do you hear there? Especially the guys from the other party's camp.
Listen, anybody who knows Frank knows he wouldn't have his hand in this.
What about the rest of the world? Look, Bob, I'm sorry. It's an unfortunate fact, but people are getting used to this kind of thing. They're ready to believe it. I mean, how many stories you heard in the past 5 years or so of ambitious young men corrupted by Washington?
I don't know. Maybe Frank would be better off if the whole thing was true. Yeah, sure. He could write a bestseller, make an apology to the public. Frank is in trouble. You know, we know that. But somebody put him there, Jack.
So it doesn't mean a thing if we can't prove it.
We got 48 hours.
Make that 43 hours.
The FBI is on it. I'm going up to New Hampshire, see what I can dig up. Frank's checking out Ray. I mean, beyond that.
Beyond that, somebody better get some answers.
Frank, I'm so glad you came over. I hated leaving things the way we left them.
What do you know
last
about
time.
these, Ray?
May I come in?
Why, of course, Dee. I mean, since when do you need to ask?
Oh, well, I suppose I don't officially, but I'd rather be invited. You're not mad at me anymore?
Well, sorry I lost my temper with you last night, but on top of everything else and the upset over Tom.
Oh, and finding out Johnny lied to you. I knew you'd be upset. I warned him. But even though it hurt, I'm glad you know the whole story now to be better for everybody. It's so much easier for me not having to watch everything I say.
What a heavy strain for you. I better get to work, Maeve.
Yes, Kevin.
Right. I didn't want to say anything because he's so sensitive. And of course, Johnny thinks he's the world's best bartender.
Well, we've never had any complaints about Kevin.
Well, let's don't talk about him. I'm just glad now you know why I've been taking such an interest in everything around here. And Johnny's helped me a lot, you know? I think I've contributed too, though. That's one thing I am. It's a good businesswoman. My new broker, Dan Fox, he's Mr. Grimley's partner, only I never met him before. He says I'm practically a financial genius.
Does he now?
Well, he may be stretching a point, but he is impressed by my record.
Well, then he isn't the only one, is he?
Well, I guess it is unusual, my having made so much money in so little time. That's another thing that'll be much easier now.
What, Dee?
My system.
Look, Dee, if you're going to be sitting around here waiting for me to drop hints as to where you're supposed to invest your money, I mean, please. I don't know where that thing got started to begin with. And I hope you're not convinced that I'm going to continue it.
But you don't have to do anything. Just if I can be around, I'll pick up the signals.
I wasn't aware that I was given any signals to begin with. But isn't it a pity that John wasn't able to pick up on them when he needed them so badly?
Oh, I know, it really is. But see, Johnny just didn't know how to listen for them. He kept trying to use his head instead of whatever it is I use. I don't even know. I only know that it works.
Well, it's going to make me very self-conscious in my own kitchen.
Oh, don't be, please. See, that could affect things. You just go on about what you're doing.
Well, thank you very much.
What are you having for dinner?
Stew.
That's right, it's Thursday.
Yes, lamb stew.
Same old recipe?
Yes, for 34 years, my husband has been raving about it. I see no reason to change.
What are you making now?
Fruit salad.
With what in it?
Grapes and oranges and peaches and apples and whatever I have in the refrigerator. Oh, and yes, bananas. Lots of bananas.
How come?
Because I bought a lot of bananas the day and a half ago from Dominic when he had a good price on them. And they seem to be ripening too fast. We won't get a chance to eat them.
But you do like bananas?
Well, the customers seem to be very fond of them.
But do you like them?
Well, Yes. Yes, I do.
A lot?
Oh. Yes. A lot. In fact, I've been especially fond of them of late. I would say that I have a craving for them. You know, bananas are very good for you. They have potassium and all such things like that. And, well, I was even thinking of baking a banana bread tomorrow morning instead of scones.
Instead of scones, really?
Yes. A good change, you know. Good for you.
Good for business, too.
Yes, certainly is.
Oh, Maeve, I have to run, but listen, I'm so glad you're not mad at me anymore. Things just don't go right for me when you're mad. I'll see you later, Maeve. Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Delia. You seem to have lightened her spirits considerably.
Kevin, I think I just did a terrible thing.
What might that be?
You don't happen to know what bananas are worth on the commodity market these days, do you?
I've given up the financial pages. Why?
I don't know what came over me. Daly was standing there telling me, bragging about her financial wizardry, and I happened to mention bananas. And a smile came over her face, and she started to pump me for information, and I knew what she was up to, and something just came over me. So I told her I was crazy about bananas. And so she whisked out that door. I'm sure she's on her way to invest in bananas. Kevin, I don't like bananas. In fact, I think I'm allergic to them. But I steered Delia in the direction of them. Now, how could I do a thing like that?
Oh, easily, with pleasure. Let's have no remorse now, Maeve. If anyone has it coming to her, it is Delia.
Are you asking if I'm responsible for this?
Yes, I am.
So you think I'm capable of it?
I don't want to believe you are, Ray.
Well, I'm not. And fascinating though it is to find out just how badly you do think of me. I did not send those documents to Jack Finelli, and even if I had known about them, I couldn't have done it.
Oh, don't tell me you think they're genuine. That I played ball with Snow and endorsed Leclerc.
Both learning a whole lot of new things about each other, aren't we? No, Frank, I'm sure you didn't.
Why?
Because I know you, because I've watched you operate, and I know all about all the golden principles. In fact, that was one of the first things I ever fell in love with. And because I saw the look on your face when the vice presidential campaign was announced. Now, clearly somebody's out to destroy you, but it isn't me. I don't have any reason.
A lot of people would say you do, Ray. You did know Sam Snow.
Everybody in Washington knew Sam. And of course I was polite to him. I wasn't in the habit of offending anybody who could have hurt or helped you politically. What are you going to do about it?
The FBI is going to handle it.
I suppose I can expect to be investigated.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they're going to do a very thorough job.
Well, I don't have anything to worry about, but I certainly will be glad when they clear me, because obviously I haven't been able to convince you.
Not yet.
Frank, I would not destroy what I built. You, your career, your success are all I have to show for the last 2 years of my life. Now, I am not trying to lay a guilt trip on you. I loved it because I love politics, but I think of myself as a kingmaker, not somebody who goes around destroying other people's castles because she's not welcome in them anymore.
I don't know what to believe, Ray. All I know is that somebody is out to skin me alive. And if it isn't you, then I don't know who it would be or why. Now, you know damn well I never made that deal with Snow. And I never endorsed anyone for that commission. And the only thing I am guilty of is being stupid enough to think that they wanted me for vice president because I've been a good senator.
But you are a good senator. You have been, and I promise you, you would have gotten that one way or another sooner or later. Frank, I'm so sorry that our last meeting was such an angry one. I really would like us to try to salvage whatever good feelings we have between the two of us. And I don't want you out of politics, Frank. And you're going to have to look for whoever it is that does.
Well, I hope the FBI can shed some light on this. And Bobby on his way up to New Hampshire. Maybe he'll find out something.
You know, as painful as it's going to be, you're going to have to take a good look at everybody. It has to be somebody close enough to you to have access to your files. Maybe somebody near and dear. Good luck.
Take care, Ray.
Hi, I'm Tori Spelling. Spend the whole morning with me in bed.
Spend breakfast in bed all day with the OC, One Tree Hill, Beverly Hills 90210, and Gilmore Girls every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on SoapNet.